In a matter of just 2 days here, we're officially going to hit 3 weeks since early access launched. Kind of crazy. It's a real stat, believe it or not. I'm not making it up. But captain cards are something I feel like a lot of people have not really been given a look. Theme teams, captain boosts. There's certainly some reasons not to some of them. Collection fodder, chipper chow as we call it. But there's definitely some really good ones, and we're going to talk about those today. Leave a like down below as always, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get it going. So, Captain Boost, kind of like what you've seen in Madden in the past, came to MLB The Show, and I'll be honest, I don't really see anybody using them online besides a select few. This is one of the ones that I've been rocking this year, a big old fan of this one, the Trevor Hoffman boost. You see, you get boost based on how many you put on. So 3 non-closer relief pitchers, you get a boost, and all the way up to 7. So that's the first part, is if you don't have a captain put in your team, you probably should, even if you're just going to get the small boost, because more often than not, you're probably going to have this, for example, right? So if you have Hoffman, there's no reason to not equip a captain right there for you. Like I said, there's certainly some good. Second, this goes especially for the hitting captains. You can also kind of store some of these cards, right? You don't have to have all the eligible players on your starting 9 on the field. You can have some on the bench. And remember, this year with no pitcher, with the DH in, you're not going to use your bench quite as much. So there's a good reason, like right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Braves cards. Why not store a couple? I can put Ozzie Albies, I can put Sean Murphy. Obviously, captains are going to be as good as the cards that you have for that boost. If you don't have any good Braves players, there's no fucking point to use it. You know what I mean? But right here for Austin Riley, okay, we hit tier 2. We lose 5 fielding, big whoop. We need 3 more Braves hitters. We get 3 more Braves hitters. We're going to go ahead and get, an additional +5 power right, +5 power left, and 5 contact left, and mitigate some of that fielding decrease as well. You guys will notice you can actually tell where the boost comes in as well. If you look on this screen, you see bada bing, bada boom. Obviously, Ronald Acuna Jr. has been upgraded right there. So, captains, certainly a good thing to use. Let's talk about some good ones and some bad ones. Let's start off with the non-team builds. The captains that are not based around specific members of teams. And for hitters, the best one that you could really go with, maybe the best captain boost there is in the game, is the Negro League collection for sure. Buck ONeill right here. It's pretty crazy. If you look at his captain boost, you get 25 power both ways, 25 hit per 9, and 25 BB9. In my opinion, the 2 most important offensive and pitching stats. You get +25. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy for sure. And what's cool about that is a lot of the storylines, the same for green collection cards, are actually starting pitchers too. So you can kind of store them away if you don't particularly like them and still get the boost. But for this one, to really maximize it, you really want to have 7 players on your team. And again, you can utilize the bench for that as well. A very good option. Another one that I really like is Mike Piazza. My God, this one's pretty insane. First off, he's one of the best offensive catchers ratings-wise in the game. I mean, pretty wild stuff on paper. And then, here you go, 15 contact left, 15 power left, 15 clutch, 5 power right. Wild. And his captain boost is 10 players with catcher primary or secondary on the squad. You might think that's difficult to field, but not really at all. If you go ahead and look here, this is showzone.gg. Shout out to them. If you guys are ever looking for, how many stubs you need to finish off a collection, here's the place to go. Got a ton of information on here. Okay, let's try to make it more visually appealing for y'all. Kensuke Kondo, he's an outfielder. Johnny Bench, he can play corner infield. Craig Biggio can play literally everywhere if you're willing to take a little bit more out of position sacrifice, which I think is definitely worth it. You've got so many cards. MJ Melendez, he can play outfield. Tim Cannelli, he's basically a super utility guy. You could really build an absolutely crazy team. JT at catcher, Craig at second, Bench at third, Condo, Melendez in the outfield, Salvador at DH. You can throw Gary Sanchez at first. Piazza in the mix somewhere. Cannelli can fit an infield spot. Martin DeHigo, the storylines player, can literally play everywhere. Pitcher, catcher included. It's a really good team build. But you got tons of other good options as well, especially for hitters. We're talking about the David Wright, for example, which we learned new news about this one. You get 15 contact lefts and clutch and some fielding. This is cover athletes. 99 Chipper Jones fits in. He was on an MLB The Show cover, or not before it was MLB The Show, MLB 2001. 989 Sports developed it, turned into SDS. And you're also going to be able to put Cal Ripken Jr. on there, Vladimir Guerrero. Sean Green, I don't know if they have his likeness rights anymore, but he was also on one of those covers. So you could really build it out pretty stacked. I really like the thought of that team for sure. There's also the Derek Jeter, the Captain Series. You guys get 30 captains free from Team Affinity, and you get 15 contact both ways and 15 clutch. That's just going to make your PCI bigger, and it make it more easier for it to hit, which that's a big boost as well. For pitchers, the Trevor Hoffman one we talked about is absolutely crazy, especially with not so many good lefties in the game right now. They just got Hader, Gregory Soto. There's also the Nolan Ryan one, which is pretty smexy too. Plus 10 hit per 9, plus 15K. Pretty good. 35 age or older on these pitchers. A lot of those relievers are pretty are getting up there in age. They're starting to go down to the Cracker Barrel, starting to get the early bird special. Going to bed at 8 p.m. type shit. But yeah, also a good boost there. Let's talk about some of the live series collections, though, because I know a lot of people have been going for collections, getting some of these cheap teams, but are they actually worth it? Does it give you anything? You look at the Nationals here. Obviously, the Nationals are poverty-stricken. The trickle-down economics didn't quite hit Washington, D.C. right here. We got 45 contact, 45 power versus lefties, which is crazy. But two things. One, we talked about how few and far between good lefties are in the game right now. And two, you do have to use Nationals Live Series. So that's part of the conundrum. Even if you have the best every single one collected, which you have to have for this Andre Dawson, it's still not going to be quite that good, because a lot of their cards have like 30 power that gets you up to a whopping 75, which isn't too insane. But there's certainly some good ones. I'll throw out the Giants. I think that's really good. This is a pitching captain, and you're going to need 9 live series pitchers. You get 5 starters, 8 relievers, so you can spare 4, have 4 God members, and the rest live series Giants. They've got a lot of guys with good pitch mixes, sinkers, cutters, they can commute of all. Logan Webb is in there too. This Matt Cain, also a pretty solid card as well. The D-backs. The Diamondbacks are pretty good this year, and obviously, these are going to fluctuate as we get roster updates. I'm thinking the first one's going to be towards the end of the month of April. They're only doing it every 3 weeks this year. Watch out for this, because it's not the craziest right now. A lot of their cards don't have the biggest ratings, but once they do, my God, 35 and 20 power righties and lefties respectively, 35 clutch. That's going to be disgusting. You could use it right now, but it's going to just blossom to get even better. The Reds, the Dibbler, this is one of the best relievers early game. He's bot-proof, If you imagine you play a Switch player, you just throw on 104, their life is going to flash before their eyes. They're going to throw their Joy-Cons into the dirt. And, well, I was going to say break the joysticks, but they already come broken. That's a feature in the Switch. Not like Sony's any better. I had this shit for like 2 months. It's already, wobbling, doing the Dougie. But 40K per 9, super good. They've again got some good pitchers with good pitch mixes, which is what you're looking for right there, because the lesser teams get the bigger boosts. That's pretty much what you can come to expect. The Rays also, kind of like the Diamondbacks, a lot of their hitters cards aren't crazy stacked right now. They're undefeated. knock on wood. Surely they aren't going to lose now that I say that, but it's going to get crazy. The Twins. You get Sonny Gray, Pablo Lopez, Joan Duran. You have so many meta pitch mixes in the game, including Joe Nathan right here. And you get 25K per 9. You get pitch clutch, hits per 9. Really, really good. And basically all you need is like Buxton, which goes for about 12K. So I like that one a lot too. The Red Sox is interesting with Johnny Damon because it gives you speed. Imagine Rafi Devers with, I don't know, is he going to get 55 speed? But damn it, that's going to be him like Usain Bolt. You know, even he couldn't picture himself. Not when he was 12 years old, he was that quick. So that's going to be pretty cool. You also get a ton of batting clutch and contact both ways, which is going to be cool. So some of those live series for sure, and there's big ones that we'll talk about too. The Big Five Live, as I like to call them. Tom Seaver. Obviously, these guys are great because they're good cards, and they boost up good cards initially too. You get 10 hit 9, 10 BB 9, and that's going to add on to a Scherzer, a DeGrom. Too soon? Verlander, Edwin Diaz, it's going to add on to them. Stan Musial, this one might be the best one out there. You get 15 and 20 contact both ways, 10 power left and 20 vision. Goldschmidt, Arenado, they've got so many good hitters on that team. That's actually going to be disgusting. Duke Snyder's real good with the Dodgers. Again, Tim Salmon might be the best of all because when you get this Tier 3 boost to him, he's basically maxed out contact, maxed out power left. It's nuts. He's maybe like one of the best hitters in the game, and he also has 9 quirks. And obviously, you're going to have Ohtani, you're going to have Trout, Renfroe. The Angels not looking too bad on paper this year. A little asterisk right there. And then Mariano Rivera too. So some really, really good ones. And then the team affinity boost as well. We talked about the Braves with Austin Riley. I think that's the best one. I mean, out of the box, this card is fucking raw. And then you also add on the Acuna, the Eddie Matthews. There's so many good cards with the Braves. And you also got to project here. Like, what teams typically get good cards? It's the Braves. It's not the Royals. They typically don't get a lot of legends. And for the lesser teams, they'll probably not get quite as many, like all-star cards. They're not going to get as many PUTM cards. So that's something to think about as well. Aaron Judge, obviously really good. The Yankees are probably the best team build currently going. If you've got like Babe Ruth, if you've got Derek Jeter, if you've got all the heavy hitters, you're adding 10 power and 15 arm onto the side of that. So Jeter is going to be, at parallel 5, 110 power. What in the world is that? It sounds fake, but it's not. Altuve, the Astros are great. They're going to get a lot of good cards as well. Corbin Burns, that's one I want to specifically highlight because they just added that 99 hater. You got this Corbin Burns. You have Devin Williams in the mix. Brandon Woodruff is a pretty good mix. Adrian Hauser. They are a pitching farm, so this one is also going to be really good as well. I really like the looks of that. Machado, Pete Alonso, a couple others. So those are some captains that I think you guys can definitely run. We talked about some of the lower live series collections that actually morph to be pretty good. We'll probably get some gameplay on stream with some of these too because I think that'd be really cool just to see how boosted up they can get. So let me know if you guys are running any captains down below in the comments section. Kind of curious. Like I said, I've only seen either the Sanford Green, the storylines, or the Hoffman. Those are the only 2 boosts I think I've ever seen in ranked seasons to this point. So, yeah, leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Plenty more videos coming to the Gomer Simpson channel. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a good one.